The tilt, a unique lesson, the slow grill of a connection. I'll make an effort to be brief. My age is 27. As an analyst, I work. 27-year-old wife of mine works in skincare. We have been together for 9 years and have 3 children, ages 3, 5, and 7. 7 is married. Honestly, I'm not sure where to start. What is the synopsis of a marriage? It feels like we detest each other these days. Our union has never been without its challenges. Back in 2005, when we initially started dating, I was serving in the Navy. After I left, life was incredibly difficult, and we are only now starting to recover. In any case, things really started to get terrible for me around 2 years ago. After landing her current position, she works as a skin care specialist in a massage parlor. That's where she met her friend, and as I mentioned, that's when things started to go south. She began binge drinking and partying excessively, going out every weekend, sometimes leaving on Friday and returning on Sunday, and usually going out on Saturday night, Friday night, and occasionally staying out until 4 or 6 in the morning. That seems crazy to me. I was furious when she told me she had smoked X once or twice. I am a total homebody. I don't see the purpose of going out to parties and consuming alcohol. Going clubbing gives her energy for the next week, she claims. I was so taken aback by that I was at a loss for words. That is how stupid it is. On Sundays, she began watching the children of her friends. To cut a long tale short, I told her to stop, and she basically told me that it was too bad. I feel like ever since she met her, her friends and social life have taken precedence over everything and everyone else. Our recent major outburst, which occurred roughly 2 weeks ago, was the result of a great deal of resentment that had been building. She said that we had emotionally parted ways roughly 2 months ago. We seemed to be going in 2 different directions, she said. Though I didn't think so, I agreed, and I suppose I knew it was somewhat true, though not to the extent she believed. She said she wants us to work on ourselves before we can be what she believes is whole again. But we have had so many arguments since then that I can't even begin to pinpoint it. That's okay, but I can't help but feel that she holds me responsible for everything. She spends her entire day sleeping in one of the guest rooms, never does the cleaning. Her true smile only appears when she is conversing or texting her companion. She will tell you that it's no secret that she struggles with motivation. She just wants to unwind when she gets home. She doesn't want to cook, clean, or do anything else. She informed me the things she wants me to focus on, like controlling my temper and taking my thyroid medicine as prescribed. I went above and said, fine, no problem. I got back on everything, started exercising, and lost weight. I fulfilled every request she made of me. Work on your temper, I said to her. When she becomes upset, she frequently threatens to leave. Improve your cleaning skills. Go talk to a doctor about your depression and cut back on your social life. She didn't participate in it. Not that she tried. She scheduled a doctor's visit, but she never followed up and didn't have the necessary documentation. She started going out more and still doesn't tidy up. I gave up. If she's not going to put in the work, then I won't. She thinks it's difficult to get a new work and what she does. Perhaps it's just me, but before landing the wonderful job I have today, I had a number of unsuccessful professions and job losses. Furthermore, it seems like an excuse. Anything less than outcomes seems like a ridiculous justification. It's not the first time that this has happened. It's been almost 2 weeks since we last shared a bed. We reconnected solely as a result of my writing her several love letters, to which she replied, "Words are nice, but prove it." That, I suppose, is my point. I'm tired of working so hard and get little appreciation for it. We would be here for a while, so I could keep going. I just need some direction. This is only the tip of the iceberg. I always get things done for her, like bring flowers home or run errands when she doesn't feel like it. I find it difficult to answer the question, isn't going to work enough. From one perspective, I know it's not since, as you mentioned, it's something I should be doing anyhow. On the other side, I give my family my all at work. I am where I had said I will be. I always respond quickly and fulfill all requests. I'm not sure I understand this topic. I don't even have a social life of my own. It was only recently that I came over an email exchange between her and a Craigslist guy. I read everything I could find on Facebook, her remaining emails, and her SMS. This appears to be a singular incident thus far. I even checked Verizon, and this is the only thing there is. I can find anything because I work in it. She made no attempt to refute it when I confronted her about it. She explains that she was really miserable at the time. She was searching for a different viewpoint since she believed she had failed our marriage. She mentioned that she found this guy's advertisement while using a mom exchange website. After conversing for almost 2 days, he became creepy and insisted on having photos taken. You understand my point of view. She claims to have chopped it off at that point. I find a lot of things challenging. She basically indicated that she wasn't in the correct mental state and that her emotions were impaired. Even for a guy, some of her logic would be ridiculous, let alone her. Her income is not quite as high as mine. We have talked about the possibility that she could be self-sufficient. Not 1 child, much less 3, not helping her out. I've been there, done that. I informed her that we wouldn't be going out again for a long after her birthday this weekend. Not at all. She gave me no trouble about it. She concurred. There's that. I have been maintaining records for a while. She apologized sincerely, and I do accept her word. Most of the time. The evidence backs up her claim that it was a one-time event that concluded before it started. But one eye is open when I sleep. This is something she has never done before. I don't want to use this as a coping method. She has always been very withdrawn. That is what makes us a little erroneous. That's me, talkative, honest, and readily available. She's just not, that's all. She was raised to avoid discussing emotions. It's just something you choose not to do. It's not like she didn't speak with me, anyway. She remains silent. Not a justification, though. It's how I was raised, too. And I quickly discovered that total BS. She doesn't seem to view any authoritative figures, in my opinion. But that's not out of the ordinary for her. She might be agreeing merely to keep me quiet and prevent the family from finding out, in my opinion. She will do what she wants to do, no matter who else says or thinks differently. She is one of those individuals who you just have to acknowledge. In her own unique way, she loves you. What then did she do on Friday night? Went off without returning with her pal. We have discussed this back and forth several times. I took offense when she did this in March of last year. I presented it to her. I got to work dividing up the money accounts. I made contact with a lawyer for divorce. Together with her, I sorted out my money. In order to demonstrate to her that, first, she does not earn enough money to sustain even one child, let alone 3, and second, what kind of life, which is not genuine at all, she would have. She concluded that it was excessive. She felt bad about allowing it to go that far. Yes, I may appear like a doormat at the moment, but I will need to perform these tasks once again. And a little more after that. Our VA marriage counselor is seeing us. I hope it's soon. Not a justification. Everybody experiences emotions in different ways. She is not the kind of lady with whom you can establish firm boundaries. She simply doesn't react, even before all of this. The only thing that works with her is action, which I'm now undertaking. As ridiculous as it may sound, how can I enforce penalties on an adult? I could advise her to switch banks. So far, she hasn't exactly listened. Remove the vehicle, etc. My argument, I suppose, is that none of it is a solution. Rather, it will exacerbate the situation. I can't make her choose. She needs to do that herself. I could make things difficult for her, but that would just lead to further drama. In addition, she confided in me last night that she wants a divorce, breaking down. Her premise is that I'm attempting to alter her. She can help around the house, but I don't want her to go out as much. I'm attempting to change her in this way. To be truthful, I have only encouraged her to obtain a new job as a result of her awful acquaintance. She said she was sick of having her personal life dictated to her, and that she just wanted to be left alone. How in the hell? I told her that I thought it was interesting. For a while, things were going okay. We even began going out together. I took her to a club and then a concert. I did everything and danced with her. She told me the next day that she thought it went incredibly well and that it was beneficial for us. I concurred with her. She wanted a divorce the moment I brought this up to her. I feel so very, very overwhelmed. Tonight, my family and I are gathering for an intervention. Then the VAS counseling tomorrow. This is not the individual I wed, not even the same person I had known 3 years before. My spouse is definitely somewhere in there. And for the children's sake, at least, I can't give up. My spouse has an extremely captivating personality. She frequently imitates others around her. She will behave like a single person if she spends time with single individuals. She behaves like way if she hangs around with intelligent, trustworthy, hardworking adults. I'm bringing in every possibility I can till I'm positive she's disappeared. I'm not a villain. I don't go out, party, or drink. I can go out, have a fantastic time, and not drink. I don't try to force her to do anything illegal or risky, and I don't do drugs. You can always count on me, as you always know where I am. You can reach me at any time. I bring things about. I've so far maintained good practices. She doesn't treat me nearly as well as I do. I am my son's Scout Pack Den leader. Last night, I assisted other parents in carving pumpkins, and that was a whole lot of fun. What action did I take to earn this? Divorce will occur 1 month later, for better or worse. All I can say is that, next year, we're going to get divorced. We would have been together for 10 years by next year. Our children are 3, 5, and 7. She claims she is unhappy and doesn't know why, which is why she wants a divorce. Doesn't know what will be necessary to provide her happiness. And I need to know if I'm broken, as she phrased it. I understand that we were young when we got married and had our children, but she only experiences this when things start to get very good. She can handle difficult situations, but she is unable to handle pleasant ones. There is a ton of stuff to cover. Actually, it's simpler to simply reply. I most definitely am not in good health at this time. I've been really resentful and vengeful over it. She just makes me angry. Regarding the definition of a healthy partnership, I suppose that's all I know how not to do. That's okay, because even without all the titles, I'm beginning to realize who I am. She does accept some guilt, but it's very little. Realization generally comes with an explanation. She has never really helped get the kids dressed in the morning, for instance. While acknowledging that she doesn't, she believes it's acceptable to say that she's not a morning person. In terms of counseling, Post-marriage communication counseling has replaced marital counseling. If you're in counseling all the time, your marriage isn't working. She believes she can remove me from the children's lives and yet be happy on her own. Accurately said, I have already discussed how she undermines herself. Her theory is that, although her mother never lived, she would still buy her stuff when she did. From her perspective, giving someone a present is essentially compensating for something. She doesn't know how to be happy, I've stated for years. She doesn't do anything logical. She's seeking a divorce. However, every step I take in that direction merely makes me resentful and vengeful. I express to her my desire to divide the bank account. She starts giving a speech on how things will become easier. How am I going to pay my bill? How am I going to eat if I don't have anything for lunch? How am I going to afford Christmas gifts? What did I say? You desired this. You are not the only one. And everything will proceed in this manner. I will not have a joint bank account with my former spouse. Are you joking with me? She wants to keep living with him and sharing everything, including money. She claims it's not as strange as you may imagine. I'm waiting on my taxes before hiring a lawyer. On a brighter note, here's the hilarious part. Ever since it was decided that this would happen, I have never been more flirted with or hit on in my life. I'm not sure what changed or what happened. Girls at work and the store have made advances on me at least a few times a week, some of whom I haven't spoken to in years, by old female pals. It's very funny. We are still together after about a month. Although she has been lying to me about sleeping with the guy I found out last set, and things are not as good as they seem. It has been discussed, and the counselor I see is making every effort to make up for it. I can't get the picture of them together out of my thoughts. My issue is that I've become accustomed to these triggers on a daily basis. I picture an interracial relationship when I hear the word cheat. She's black, I'm white, and we can't even see or hear anything vaguely tactile. Specific words or phrases, etc. they simply won't give up. I also don't just turn things off. How should I proceed? She started going out to parties and her emotions have basically gotten out of control, which is why I want the divorce. The instant she began corresponding with guys outside of CR, I knew I was done. She's been dating him for at least half a year. She said she wouldn't leave me for him long before I was finished, and it was only after the first post that she said she wasn't sure if he wasn't just a rebound. I intend to vacate within the upcoming month. Tomorrow, I'm actually going apartment shopping. My letter to her, a month later. Writing this letter to you has had to be the toughest thing I've ever done in my life. I wanted you to know that I have never loved someone as much as I have loved you. I don't think I will ever again. However, I believe that's the nature of love. It comes in a variety of forms. It was an unconditional act of genuine love. I'd have given my life for you. I already am a part of it. I would be lying if I said I wouldn't miss us. I've opened my heart to you and placed it right here. It is the only thing I can do. After spending the last year introspecting a great deal, I've come to the conclusion that your love for me was illusory and false. I know that I could never have harmed you the way you have harmed me. I was still unable to harm you in that way. The fact that you mistreated me and showed me no regard as a friend or a human in general, let alone as a life partner, is what saddens me so much. It's true that you became my best buddy, and I really miss that. I miss the woman I believe to be my wife as well. Even though I am aware that we had issues, talking about these things is usually beneficial. We should both feel embarrassed about the one thing that neither of us did. I'm sorry for letting the sunshine fool me, for keeping your emotions inside, and for straying onto more promising ground. Nevertheless, my love for you never wavered in spite of our issues. It took me a while to eventually realize that my love was insufficient for you. That is the reason I am genuinely depressed. Maybe I didn't do it right, or maybe my love was too naive. That's what adds to the tragedy of the whole situation. If one spouse doesn't obtain what they need from the other, then the spouse, husband or wife, will cheat. You wouldn't let me in, wouldn't let me offer you what you needed. Thus, it only seems sense that I was unable to supply. It was for that reason beyond my control to stop it. I'll spend my days thinking that you moved on to another choice because mine didn't work out. That is a love I will never be able to experience again. Not that I can't love someone else, but not with the same fervor and intensity, because I will always be cautious with the love I give and receive. I really wanted our marriage to succeed. My heart will always hurt that it didn't. I've never intentionally done anything to harm us or you. You should know that you have my forgiveness. This is the only way, and I've taken responsibility for my fair share of the blame. All I can ask is that you have self-forgiveness. Though, given how swiftly you've moved on, I think in my heart that you already have. I wonder if you really loved me at all, given how quickly it appears like you moved on. It appears as though you are unaware that you were married in the first place or that you even had an affair. Perhaps that's a good thing. Nothing remains for us to salvage. It's time for us to part. That's what needs to be done. It's time to move on from this. I believe that a long time ago, we both knew this would happen. I am aware that the saying goes that you never really move on from your first love. Additionally, newcomers have a tendency to disappear into time itself. But in all honesty, I don't think you ever fully move on from someone you committed to love until the day you die. I assume you will always be devoted to and adore those folks. We never really leave those we love behind. All I can hope is that when you start a new relationship, it won't carry any baggage from previous infidelity and lies, and that when I start a new relationship, I won't be frightened to fall in love because I'm worried about getting wounded. With the knowledge we have gained from one another, I hope that we can both go forward in this new chapter of our lives. One that is, above all, truthful, transparent, and healthy. One that enables us to be the parents our children deserve and the persons we deserve to be. Going back to old loves is usually simple, but it's not always a smart idea. I believe that this will be a challenging task for us both because it is simple to find solace in the arms of those who still love us. I know I wrote to you earlier, but I realize you've begun a new chapter in your life. Even while I frequently reflect on my past and try to stay somewhat connected, I will always go forward, even without the children. But there's nothing left for us to weather as you and I part ways. I don't need you anymore, even though you used to be everything I had. Now is the moment to turn around and leave what's left of you and me behind. Before I can return to myself, I must get over you. I have to say goodbye if I want to move on with my life. So goodbye, because you are the best thing I will ever give up. Look after yourself. Letter terminated. When I move out next week, I'll give it to her. Indeed, we still share a home. I apologize for being so verbose, but I was afraid I might come across as needy. Yes, I did remove a lot. 3 are mine. 1 guy and 2 girls. 5, 7, and 3. She is indeed still involved in the affair. I basically told her that if she didn't confess, I would take the kids. I only needed confirmation of what I already understood. No, I'm just 28 years old. My future is bright. I've been seeing a counselor for long, so don't worry about that. The problem is that she isn't without regrets. She is really hurting as a result of everything she has done. I told her that I was capable of forgiving everything. However, she refuses to grant herself forgiveness. Although we get along well, I do want to avoid contact with her as much as possible following 50/50 shared custody is used. Week 1, Week 2. Funny you should ask, because I'm not even close to a dry well. I'm the outgoing, sentimental, kind-hearted, sympathetic, and romantic type, not in a negative way. Unbelievably, she's the dry well after all. She basically had strong feelings for this other guy and was upset with me. Valentine's Day was when they first dated, and that was that. I actually don't have much else to say, even if I thought I did. I'm through. It's so over that I can no longer feel the pain. I have stopped listening to the moving on songs. All I want to do is go on. For the first time, I could truly view her as an ex the other night. I'll shake her hand and tell her it was wonderful to meet her when I depart next week, and leave it at that. I thought I would share a humorous dating CV I created, over half a year later. Sincerely, why not? To my future partner, I notice that your heart is hiring, and I would like to show my interest in the role of greatest boyfriend ever. I am a single father of 3 who is ruggedly handsome and bright. As of right now, no one is vying for my attention. Examine my soul, which is enclosed in this packet. I sincerely appreciate your thought and time. Professional summary, I proceed as slowly as you require. Sincerely, me. You have a schedule, I know that. I enjoy calling merely to say hello or I'm in love. I wholeheartedly support the bundle offer. Super good cuddler. I'm happy to discuss any girly topics you'd like to bring up. I'm yours to kiss whenever you please. I'll truly listen to you as you talk about such girly stuff. If I allow you to meet my children, I swear you'll know you're in. It will be simple. I like to converse than to write. I play for projects, for keeping, and for the 3 kids. You are aware of my patience and skill with children. Previous union. I've been here and I know I'm not the center of attention, even though it might not look good at first. It also implies that I have no fear of responsibility or baggage. I attended a university. I have all of my textbooks still, together with my enjoyment of speaking with others. There will always be something new for us to discuss. I'm not a moron. My employment is full-time. I may be able to purchase something for you. I occasionally work out. I'm not ripped, but I'm also not obese. Experience. I'm a dedicated professional that genuinely loves my work and my kids. But I'm a huge nerd as well. My 3 children are a male and 2 girls. I really think that the person you are in a relationship with should be your closest friend. It took me some time to discover that, but once I did, I knew that I cannot afford to accept anything less. This is the reason I believe it is so crucial to delay dating or being in a relationship, which is why I find the entire dating website thing a little strange. On a friendship website, things aren't precisely the same. I take great pleasure in working out. I'm not that familiar with fitness. However, I adore it. During the first month, I only did body weight calisthenics and lost 15 pounds. I'm really existentialist and philosophical. I could write all day about anything pertaining to science and religion. Though I'm not religious, I do find religions to be fascinating when considering social evolution. You're the one if you enjoy watching the argument between Bill Nye and Ken Ham. I also enjoy mending things a lot. Closing the behavior gap and returning something to its initial state is what I'm passionate about. I still have things I want to do. I hope they coincide with yours. Most importantly, to be a homeowner. Return to Greece. Return to professional photography. Of course, move up the corporate ladder. More body art. Degree of clearance. I'll have access to all of your secrets. I swear, you're safe with me. Citations. That would be a little uncomfortable. However, I'm sure I could pull it off. After a year, my divorce was finalized in November of last year, and I moved out in April. Best choice ever made. Yes, it was, in fact. I'm back on the dating scene now, ignoring the enjoyment and exhilaration I initially experienced. My current girlfriend is my first committed partner since my breakup with the last one. Just some background, then. I'm 29 years old, have 3 children, and spent over 10 years with their mother. And the breakup was awful. Very awful. Okay, so we get along now. Not excellent, but passable. At 24, she is a lot younger. Never had children, married, or a troubled past. Not in the least bit jaded, and fully aware and accepting of all that is. Man, it seems like I let the past get in the way of things. I have no idea how to handle it because I'm not the kind to have trust issues. You know, that hypersensitive state in which everything is obvious to you and has a deeper significance. She receives a call at 10:30 p.m. last night while we were on a video call. Though, on an intellectual level, I realize it's probably just her mother or one of her sisters. That wounded side still gets involved. All I need is some insight on how others have addressed this. Don't read the tea leaves, is my advice. You don't have to guess who it might have been or make any assumptions. That will simply exacerbate any trust or paranoia concerns. I would advise you to focus on the relationship and not worry about who it is. If something feels off, you may have good reason to be concerned. Is it possible that despite everything, she is keeping anything from you in your wonderful relationship? No, you still have emotional issues to resolve if you want to keep your new relationship intact. It appears that Opus is having too much fun right now. It can't be this good, he thinks. Overcoming that takes time, but after you get to know someone a little better, you can begin to establish trust.